That's beautiful there. And then I'm gonna grab another one, and this one has a longer stem, so I can place it a little bit higher. Just there. Okay, when I did that, this one got sinking inside. It's sinking a little bit. So I'm gonna replace this one in a place where I feel she's more secure and she's not sinking so much. Okay, I want you to notice something. Intentionally, I do one side bouquets. That means that I'm not gonna work this side so much. And I like quite flat bouquets, so they are not round, you know? Why? And I'm gonna show you something. When the bride is gonna hold this, you want the bride to be able to hold it quite close to her body. So if it's round, she will always have it like this, and it's not very photogenic. That's one reason. And the other one, that I feel that it's more romantic to be able to grab the flowers quite close to your body. So if it was round, it would be impossible. So that's why I make my bouquets quite round. Can you see? Quite flat on the back. So at the end, I will only add few flowers here, you know, to make the back look worked. I mean, I'm not gonna leave it empty, but it's gonna be something that is a very straightforward one-face bouquet, okay? So that she can grab it here, or she could hold it here, or that she could just hold it with one hand, and when she's walking down the aisle, she could have it here, and it looks quite romantic, okay? So that's why I'm only working the front, if you were wondering why. I can notice that I have a little hole here, so I'm gonna lift this zinnia because I really like how she's just coming out here. So all your flowers doesn't have to look to the front, you know? Sometimes your flowers can look to another direction, and that's actually what will make this arrangement look more natural. But I can see that I have a little hole here, so I'm just gonna come with this piece of yarrow, and I'm gonna place this one here, very, very low, okay? So that's fine. And then I can add another piece, or maybe another zinnia, just here. So again, I'm not seeing where it has to be, I'm just feeling that that's the right place. She's going smoothly down here. Okay. Again, I have to make sure that each one of them have their own space to breathe. Okay. I really like this side. I think this side needs more work. So we're gonna add a few flowers here. And I think I wanna go for some phlox, because every time you have phlox, you make everything look softer. And that's why, if you have the chance to grow something, phlox should be the first one that you choose to grow. Sometimes I haven't got any flowers in my garden, and I had some phloxes, and it really changed the way the flower market looked. So I can guarantee you, you will love growing phlox, and it can give you flowers for so many, many months. So I'm gonna add this one, and look at this color palette. It's just beautiful. So let me find the right stem for here. So it's gonna be this one. So again, they have a very thin stem, so they don't give me a lot of hard time. They're fine. I just have to twist and find or feel an easy spot for her to come inside, okay? I don't think I broke her. No, it's fine. Okay, another one here again. And maybe I'm gonna tell you something. There is a point where you can feel that one stem is right not to thread it anymore, but you can just hold it from outside. But it has to make sense with the direction of your stems. If I want to add something here, I'm just gonna give you an example, because I don't wanna add my cosmos just yet. And I don't feel I have enough space here or more space here, and I'm struggling. This flower has the perfect direction to just be placed here, and I can just hold it from outside. So you don't need to thread anymore. You can just start placing the stems from outside, okay? So I'm gonna grab some of these phlox and just place it from outside. I don't need to thread it anymore. I can feel the stem inside my hand. And I want you to do something. When you add something from outside, when you don't thread it anymore, just squish a little bit the stem. I'm telling you that because right now I'm doing this with summer flowers, but some of the winter flowers have a very, I don't know exactly the word in English, but something that breaks very easily, okay? So let's say I would like to add a tulip, and if I add it here and I don't protect the stem, the moment I tape it, it will break. So summer flowers have more flexible stems, so they allowed me to be a little bit more brutal in a way. I'm being kind, but what I mean is that if I were going to tape here a tulip, it might snap. The right word is snap. It will snap. So I make sure that the stems that I'm adding from outside wouldn't snap if I was just going to tape it right now. So I'm gonna add more flocks in here because I think it's looking beautiful and it's making this part softer. Let me lift this one a little bit. I think I want to get rid of this leaf. It's just bothering me. So that's it. Okay. And I'm gonna add maybe a bigger flower here so that I can have the effect that I have here on the other side. So I think I need something bigger here. Hold on. And I think it's gonna be maybe, I want something that looks soft, but that she's carrying it this from the side. It also looks very pretty. So let me try this one. I think that's fine, okay? Okay, now, the same thing as we were talking in centerpieces and in large scale. The third layer is about movement. It's about adding graceful stems. So I'm gonna come and add some of my cosmos. Just wanna make sure that I like things here. Okay, I have to do something about this one because it's bothering me a little bit. Maybe I just have to sink it a little bit and lift this one up a little bit. Okay, so I have very pretty cosmos here, and they will be the third layer, the layer of movement, okay? So I have one here, I have another one here, and I have some pink ones that are very cute, and this one that I really like, the small ones. So let me grab this one first, and I'm gonna add it here. So, okay. This is not so easy anymore, okay? Don't be scared, just relax again. Open your hand. If things move, they move, that's okay. And then place your flower there. I'm gonna add one more here because I think they make this bouquet look more soft. So I'm just gonna add this one here. Okay, that's good. And then I'm gonna add one more on the other direction. Let me see if this is the one that I want, the right color. I think that's fine. I mean, I could go for a darker color like this one maybe. Oh, it's not so dark, but it's fine. So I'm gonna use this one. So I'm just gonna cut the stem a little bit, and I'm gonna add this one here. And I twist until I find the right spot. And I give my bouquet a shake, okay? This is very scary, and a lot of my students just like, no, I don't wanna move it, but you have to, because you need to see where it's going. And I want you to do something that it's a little bit stressful, but you need to. I want you to pretend right now that you are taping this bouquet. So when you tape it, can you see how it loses all the shape? So, and that's something that really frustrates everybody. So that means that what I have to do is rearrange my flowers without being scared. So I pretend that I'm taping, I'm squishing the stems, and then I open my hand again and I lift whatever I need to lift in order to have a bouquet that feels soft. And then you rearrange, you lift some things up, some things down, and I'm gonna keep adding my cosmos because I really like how they give to this bouquet a lot of movement and freshness. So I'm gonna add one more here, and I really like this baby one, it's so pretty. So, and it has a very nice color, so I'm gonna add this one somewhere here. And I want you to notice that I'm not threading anymore. I'm adding things from outside. So it's easier right now. And if I have to thread something, it will have to be maybe something with a very thin stem, because otherwise I will be suffering. So I'm gonna add one more here, and I think I can add this yarrow too, you know, just to add a little bit of movement down here. Okay, so I'm gonna work this side a little bit more. When I was walking in the garden and I was wondering what color palette could I use, I find these very beautiful, precious ones that I really like. So I think I'm gonna add them here. And I waited for them to be added at the end, because sometimes where you're not 100% sure if she's gonna last a lot without being in water, you can just add it at the very end. You couldn't do that for a wedding, but you could do that for a photo shoot, because you only need maybe a couple of hours of, you know, of your bouquet being alive. So I think these ones, I've tried them in centerpieces, but I've never tried them in bouquets. So I'm not so sure she will survive being without water, but for this glass, I think it's fine. So I'm gonna add this one. I just love, can you see how it's just so beautiful, the way she's just coming down here and she's making all the job for me. So I'm gonna add that one and maybe this one here. Okay, that's nice. And I really like how this one is just going like that. I have few zinnias here that I also cut thinking about this, and because they're quite thin stem, I won't have any problem trying to thread them. So I'm just gonna add them. Can you see how fine the stem is? It's just so cute and fine. So I can really go inside my bouquet and thread it. So I'm just gonna come here and try to find a place where I can thread her. Be gentle, because she could break and I don't want to break her. So I'm just gonna be very gentle and try to find, it's so scary, there, that's fine. And that's really cute there. Okay, now this is 90% done. It's not 100% done, but I'm gonna give you a tip. When you're doing a bouquet for a wedding, you do never do it the day of the wedding. You are too stressed. You have so many things to do, you know? So if you're starting to do this on the day of the wedding, it's not gonna be your greatest job. So you really want to do this maybe 90% the day before, give it a drink, put it in the cooler, so also the flowers will hydrate again and they will look fresher the morning after. And then you will come the morning after and finish the last details, add all the delicate stems. So what are you going to do now is I'm going to pretend that this is the night before the wedding. I am not going to finish it. I'm gonna show you how I tape it to a 90% and what I do to add things after. So I'm gonna leave my ribbons here. They will be added tomorrow. Can you see how pretty they will look? So I'm just gonna add them, leave them here for now. And I'm gonna add a piece of tape. If you're working on your own, at the beginning it's a little bit stressful to do this on your own, but if you have someone to help you, just can ask someone to just cut the tape for you. This is my favorite type of tape when we do bouquets because it's elastic. So I'm gonna show you, and I think you can find this one in any floral supplier company. I think it's from the brand Oasis. Okay, can you see? I want you to pay attention. So you're gonna do this, you're gonna take this out, and it's so windy, so maybe it's gonna get all messy. Okay, I'm gonna make this closer to the camera so that you can see what I'm doing. Your thumb, can you see? You're gonna hold the tape with your thumb like this. And you're gonna give it a loop. And you're gonna give it another loop. And like that, okay? Do not worry about the shape. Do not worry about if anything changed. This is not finished. This is 90%. And what this is gonna do is go to the fridge, go to the cooler, get some water, hydrate it again. I think things moved and I'm okay with it. So I'm just gonna pretend that I am putting this one in the cooler for now and that I come back the day after. So when you do it, you have to cut the stems so that they can drink again. You place it in your vase and you go and have a coffee, a tea, or whatever, just go. Walk away from it, because sometimes when you're doing a bouquet and you are too obsessed about it, you actually, instead of making it more beautiful, you make it worse. So sometimes you really tape it, go, step away, drink, have something, get a glass of wine, whatever you want, and then come back to it. Or put it in the cooler, and the day after, it will be hydrated and you are ready to keep going, okay? I'm going to pretend a night happened, I go back and I grab my bouquet again. So, you can untape it or work on top of your tape. Some florists really prefer to work on top of the tape because this feels that it's already, okay, not moving anymore. So maybe I can add some few things here and there and make it look just great. Sometimes I like to untape it because I like to move things. So what I'm gonna check is I'm gonna see if I can move things without untaping, and if I can't, I'm gonna get rid of the tape and tape it again, okay? But actually, the magic of this tape is that you can move things around even if they're taped. The other tape doesn't let you do that. For some reason, it just gets really, really, really hard. So what I notice when I grab this one the morning after is that I need to lift some of my zinnias to go back to have some movement. I'm scared of moving that one. So I felt that if I was lifting that one too much, I was going to break her. So I might have to untape it, but let's be patient and see. Okay, I'm gonna keep working like that. So I'm gonna secure this part. I'm gonna add more movement here and there. I'm gonna make sure that all of them have their own space to breathe, and therefore I have to move or lift some of the flowers up. So I'm gonna lift this one. I'm gonna maybe sink this one a little bit more. And I noticed that this one for some reason died the night before. So it doesn't matter, you can cut it, okay? So I wanna add some support here. So I'm gonna add this straw, and I think it's gonna give a lot of texture. I wanna add maybe some scabiosas because I think they have this very graceful stem. So I'm gonna add one here, maybe another one. And it's easier because I have the tape and nothing is moving anymore. And maybe one more, or maybe not. Maybe this zinnia, because the colors go really well. So I'm just gonna add this one here, quite low. And some pieces of phlox to make this moment more graceful. Maybe here, okay. And now I'm gonna work a little bit on the back, and that is something that I will recommend you. To work the back, you don't have to use your very precious flowers. You can just add maybe mayolica, because at least here in Mexico, they are quite cheap. So you can just add a few flowers here so that it looks that it's finished, but you're going to deliver a bouquet that has a very, very clear front, so no one gets confused. So I'm gonna add one mayolica here, maybe looking to the other side. like this. And I'm gonna add maybe one of these zinnias down here so that it looks a little bit more worked. And I also like actually that one there. So I'm gonna grab one more of these celotias. I think they look really pretty. And I'm almost finished. I just wanna make sure that it looks really soft on the other side. So flux is always the way to go for softness. I'm gonna lift this. I'm gonna lift this just so that they look happier inside. And some zinnias just to finish this moment here. So again, it's nice because they have very flexible stems, so they are okay with it being from outside. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. 2, and a third one maybe here. Okay. So people ask me, when do you know you're finished? I know I don't have an answer for that. I never know. I always want to keep going. Maybe you're finished when you have to deliver it, and everyone is running, everyone is running and asking you to just give the bouquet. So maybe that's the time you're finished. So I want to add one more here, and I'm gonna tape it for a second time. So again, I'm gonna grab my tape somewhere here, and I'm gonna give this bouquet a second layer of tape. This is a very good elastic tape, my favorite one. So I'm gonna show you with your thumb here. You're going to hold it and then you're gonna give it a loop, okay? One, and another one, and that's it, okay? There, okay? Now you're gonna hold it, give it a shake, don't be scared, they will be fine. And now we're gonna cut the stems. I really like bouquets with very short stems. I don't think it's nice to see a lot of stems, so I'm gonna give them a very deep cut here. I'm gonna trim the stems and we're going to ribbon this. Okay, I want you to notice this is the idea. The idea is that she can grab her boyfriend, her father, whatever, she can walk down the aisle and she can grab them like this. If the stems were really long, she wouldn't be able to do that and feel comfortable. So the idea is that she can grab this one and then hold the father or her fiancé. And the other reason is because you want her to be quiet to her body, and if she has a very delicate dress, you don't want to spoil it. So you really want to be able to give her something that feels very comfortable and very romantic. So I'm going to ribbon this, and I was telling you, this one was dyed with avocado peel, and this one was done with blueberries or raspberries, I can't remember, but you just have to buy a roll of silk and then just cut them and dye them. And I'm telling you, nothing more beautiful than silk ribbons. So how you're gonna do it is like this. You're gonna hold it like this, especially if you work on your own, because sometimes you have someone that can help you. But if you're working on your own, just hold it like this, Sorry, it's getting a little bit tricky. Okay, now. And you're gonna give this some loops. 1 and 2. And it really depends on how long your bride wants her ribbon. Usually my brides like the ribbon very long. It looks very beautiful in the photos. So once I'm there, I'm gonna place it here and I'm just gonna make a little knot, okay? and that's it, okay? So you're just gonna deliver it, and this is the way it's done. So I think this is everything you need to start practicing your bouquets. Remember, it's stressful and it's not easy the first time. The more you practice, the better you will be at it. So practice, practice, practice as many times as you can until you feel confident that you can make it. And if you don't feel so confident, it doesn't really matter. It's okay. It's just a matter of practice. It took me a year to feel confident about doing my bouquets. Thank you so much for watching this class, and I look forward to see you in the next one.